Hello everybody, welcome back to Chimes of Fregidia. This time around we have an empty throne and magical shoes that could help us fill it. So if you want to know more, stay tuned. Again, did you ever wish to become a monarch? If so, now you have the chance. Igor, the Jarl of Helgard, is currently looking for a successor and his method is quite unorthodox. Can you tell us more, Franulf? Franulf. As many of you may know, Helgard's Jarl is responsible for passing his title to the one person he thinks best suited for it. Traditionally, the role fell almost exclusively to Jarl's family. Unfortunately, Jarl Igor's only son Alexei succumbed to black fever a few months ago, leaving Jarl Igor as the sole surviving member of the clan Morozov. Again, Jarl Igor's birthday is approaching fast, and with that the ceremony in which he is supposed to name his heir. When asked about prospective candidates, the Jarl only smiled and said the gods will lead his hand. Franulf. The meaning of this statement remained unclear until recently, when Jarl Igor declared one of the garden glass ornaments in the shape of a swan the holy sign from Triglav, the god of prophecies. The reason cited was the way light hit said ornament at high noon. Again, the ornament was removed from the garden of its original residence, melted and changed into a glass shoe. The person who the shoe fits will become the next Jarl. Of course, people from all over Silverora are planning to try their luck. The capital of Helgard and the surrounding cities are flooded with hopeful contestants. Franulf. The try-on is to be a public affair, and with Chimes of Fregidia you won't miss it. Our colleague Barnard Vanya is currently in front of the square where the event is about to commence. What is the situation like, Barnard? The camera cut to a young, dark-skinned man. He was a head taller than all the folks who were crowding the streets behind him. It made one wonder whether he was extraordinarily tall or if Helgardians were one of the smaller nations. The man smiled at the camera while his hair was working overtime to create impressionable effect of his long black hair artfully flowing in the wind. Behind him among the crowd stood a solitary raised platform from roughly hewn logs. The whole structure was guarded by an impenetrable circle of green-clad soldiers. On the stage sat a box covered by a red cloth and a single chair. Oh, you like this? Barnard. Greetings from St. Michael's Square in Helgard's capital, Grad. Today, thousands of people gathered to witness the first trying of the mysterious glass shoe that is to pick the next ruler of the land. From dawn, the city guards distributed numbered tokens. Nobody can enter the city without one. It signifies the order in which the contestants are to come to the stage. First, the number gets called. Contestant has to reach the stage within 5 minutes and present the correct numbered token. After they get 5 minutes to try and put on the shoe. The only rule is not to use brute force on the shoe itself. In that moment, a herald with a pine cone on his uniform appeared on the platform and started playing a flute. The enchanting melody seemed to make the autumn leaves dance in swirls, while red warbles glided through them as if to challenge the sudden flutter. The last few tones, much deeper and slower than the rest, tore through the revelry like a gunshot. Suddenly, there were no birds or leaves in sight. Melancholy filled the hearts of the onlookers. "Number 1!" the herald called to the silence that followed. A well-dressed man in an expensive traditional black garb clambered through the crowd. Barnard. The young man's name is Fyodor, and he is the head of the House of Orlov, one of the oldest noble houses in Helgard. Just like Jarl Igor, he is the lone survivor of the black fever from his clan. Fyodor was led on stage just as a small hourglass in the hands of the herald began measuring his 5 minutes. The red cloth was pulled away to reveal a glass sandal with flat sole and a set of strings appearing to be encircling invisible feet. Fyodor grabbed the shoe and tried to put his foot in it, only to find out that it is quite hard with rigid glass strings blocking his way. He ineffectively tried maneuvering his foot in different angles. He then proceeded to pull out a bottle of oil. Even oiled up, the shoe wouldn't budge. His time being up, number 2 got called. Fyodor fished through his pockets to produce the number 2 token, and soon he was back to work. "Wasn't this supposed to be 1 token per person?" Barnard asked, all surprised.
A lot of people, me included, sold their tokens, boy. Guess who got the better deal?
Answered an old, impoverished gentleman, showing a mouth devoid of teeth through his grin. A purse full to the brim was hanging on his flimsy belt. Meanwhile, Fyodor was wasting his third attempt on wrapping his legs with a binding gauze that wasn't as effective as he wished. When his time was up, another gentleman took his place. Fyodor took off, elbowing his way through the crowd. Barnard and his crew stayed to watch various people attempt different ways to get into the shoe. Most people just tried to push their foot through to no avail. There were oils, wrappings, and even truly desperate attempt involving cut off fingers. Unfortunately for the contestant, the shoe wouldn't stay on. Thankfully, a healing mage on standby managed to glue his feet back together. When token 45 got called and the first 4 minutes came and went, it seemed that the contest would have its first missed attempt. Suddenly, out of the corner of the city square, Fyodor came barreling at full speed towards the stage. "Who doesn't want to get hurt? Out of my way!" he yelled, and the crazy glint in his eyes made the crowd part for him. Running like his life depended on it, he got to the stage with a single second to spare. Fyodor put his hands on the shoe and the air started sizzling with heat. The glass heated until it was red hot, but Fyodor didn't put his hands away. Quite easily, he reshaped the strings. When he put his foot in, the smell of burning flesh filled the air. Whatever magic he used on his hands didn't cover his feet. Tears streamed down his face while he was lacing the red-hot strings back up. When the time was up, the shoe was sitting on quite firmly. Fyodor was silently carrying his victory and the burden of hot glass when a street pickle seller pushed her way through the crowd and splashed his feet with the content of a full pickle juice bucket. The smell was awful, but Fyodor's coloring improved and he thanked his savior wholeheartedly. 1 week later. Again, the fruits of Jarl's Fyodor's first decree are coming to fruition. His decision to bring doctors and medicine to fight the black fever epidemic resulted in triple the amount of recovered without any lasting effects. By abandoning the country's previous policy of toughening it up, Fyodor already saved dozens of lives. Franulf. Francesco Ferraglio, Nixorian University professor, began developing a vaccine to protect those who didn't yet encounter the illness. Fyodor himself is overseeing the process as much as his injury allows. Again, anonymous source from the palace says that the burn is immune to magic healing, but it reacts well to herbal remedies and prayers. We implore you, our dear viewers, to join us in a prayer for his swift recovery. Franulf. The Jarl himself isn't bothered by his injury. He said, and I quote, "It's not like pretty feet are part of the job. Hell, even on the wheeled contraption from Nixoria I can do my work. I cannot surrender my people to the black fever. Its times of wreaking havoc in Helgard are over, I swear. The black fever wounded us badly, and I'll strike back with all my might. I promise to be with my country in sickness and health, and that's exactly what I'll do." Hi there, Anaida here, and I really hope you enjoyed my twist on Cinderella. I really did, actually, but making of this video was kind of hard. I encountered a lot of difficulties along the way. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'm glad I finished it, and if you liked it, please let me know. And I'll be looking forward to next time when it's the 10th installment. Yay! See you next time, bye!